Hi, I'm Lord Surtr, and we're back today with a Mamba Abyssal video. The Mamba is once again a Guristas ship, so that means an excellent combination of missile damage with a massive amount of drone damage on top, or the other way around. So, the Mamba is the destroyer. So you've got the worm, mamba, gila, alligator, rattlesnake. So 4% bonus to all shield resistances, very helpful. And then we have the 10% bonus to kinetic and thermal missile damage, which is characteristic for the Guristas. So also we have the superdrones, 300% bonus to light combat drone damage and hit points, both. Recently, or maybe a long time ago by the time you're watching this, they added the 25% bonus to drone max velocity. Now, this one is particularly handy because it makes sure that your DPS, when you're like far away, you launch your drones, your DPS will make it to your target much faster. Also, if something targets your drones or you need to pull them back in, they will be on top view that much faster. Also, moving between targets is faster. It's just, you do more DPS, or at least more effectively because of this bonus. So it's kind of a hidden stat there. Now, I do love this ship. It does fly best with an Arcombind skin, in my humble opinion. Had to mention that. So let's get into the fit. It's a very straightforward fit. This is a Mamba meant for tier 2 destroyer Abyssals solo. It does exotic and it does Ingame. But this being a passive shield tanked fit, of course we will go with Gamma as the optimal. The reason exotic is here is because it's a Guristas ship. You get the kinetic damage bonus on your missiles, and don't count your missiles out, they still do a lot of damage. If you put Fury missiles in here, the missiles do about 162.9, let's say 163 DPS still, which is definitely significant. They have a range of about 32 kilometers if your skills are high. Your drones do a little bit more DPS at 211, but that's because we go with a double drone damage amplifier in the low slots. So the fit is straightforward. You have the light missile launchers, 6 of them in the high slots, 2 drone damage amplifiers in the low slots. You have a compact afterburner because not much more fits. Fitting is limited on this ship, so we've got a 1MN YS8 compact afterburner. Then we supplement that with double the Republic Fleet small shield extender and 1 enduring multispectrum shield hardener. So the rigs, I tried both versions. I tried the extenders, I tried the purgers. And it is my opinion through testing that on the Mamba, at least, I know this is an age-old debate, I went with the purgers. That's where I got the best experience. With the extenders, my recharge is a lot lower. Yes, I have more buffer, but what that results in is that I need to wait a long time between rooms, and I lose a lot of time. Now with the purgers I have a lot better recharge. Yes, I have less buffer, so beware of, I guess, repeated wrecking shots. But you shouldn't get those anyway if you fly correct. Charybdis, cannon, transversal. Done. I can almost jump straight into the next room. I've got the Furies, I've got the Infernals and the Scourge here, because he has a bonus to both, and not everything is as good to Scourge as it is to Inferno, because Sancha Inferno is pretty good. Drone wise, I have 2 Acolytes for in case I get Sancha rooms or I believe Concord rooms. The Hornets are of course the mainstay if you go for an exotic. That is your main drone, DPS and damage there. If I am in a Gamma, I tend to launch the Warriors because of the explosive damage, even though Hornets do a little bit more, so it might be the same really. Hornets are tankier, they have more shield hit points, and with this buff that this ship gets, that matters a lot actually. So that being said, I'm gonna go and dock, and I'm gonna start with a Gamma, and next up we're gonna do an exotic afterwards. So let's get on with it. Yes, I will exit the simulation. So the skin in question would be the Arc Combine. It is amazing. It is good. This ship requires it. So we will of course go to our safe spot and wait, I don't have one. Then I'm going for the random moon, I guess. If you're looking for the most ISK per hour or the best efficiency, and your skills are not super high, I would suggest the Worm, not the Mamba, because the Mamba suffers from being a destroyer, so the loot is a little bit lower. And the Worm is just perfection. I'm sorry, the Worm is perfection. So is the Gilla. This thing is really good, really solid, but it does sit in the shadow of both of the other amazing ships. So let's go for a Gamma, but I do need to be in fleet with myself. I'll pretend I have friends. Alright, session change. There we go. Oh, there, somebody anchored the structure here. I'm gonna go for random asteroid belt. It doesn't matter where I do it. So Gamma filaments are the best for passive shield tanks. They are the best for well, the recharge. You get 50% extra shield there. So especially with Purgers, I do get 50% more shield, which also results in more recharge. You will see the difference in Gamma versus Exotic. In Exotic I take a bit more damage, essentially it's... but I also do more damage, so this is a mixed trick slash drone room. I'm gonna launch my warriors here, and I'm gonna go for the Damavix because they remote repair, therefore they need to be broken, they need to die first. I would not suggest going for a tier 3 with these ships. They won't be able to handle it unless you dual box them. I may do a video at some point soon about the dual boxing ones, but I need to perfect them still because my current fit doesn't quite add up. It's a bit wishy. Tank is an issue. But this one is perfect for tier 2s. It is about 190 million for the complete fit that I'm currently flying. So it's not too expensive, especially being a pirate destroyer. $2.3 million. Let's add the missiles to the damage because they do matter very, very much on this ship. And if you're a shield tank, when you see these drones, these spark needles tend to be the most dangerous because they do EM damage. And for most shield tank ships, EM is your lowest resist. Let me check that. Yes, it is at 44%. So spark first. My drones are not really listening. And spark first, and then I would say ember, then blast needles, and then strike needles. And see my tank, it is got a quite decent recharge. I know it doesn't reflect it very well in game, but it says 61 HP per second. I have like 100 and I don't know, around 100 in Python. That's not counting. That's counting all the effects. Yeah, I make my fits with Python. I don't use the in-game tool very often. Mamba and Gila, Worm, Mamba and Gila are amazing, the Abyss. These ships, I mean, it almost feels like they're made for Abyss. I've done a Mamba fit for the Abyss before, but that was before the recent changes with the drone speed. I had a great time revisiting it recently because, well, somehow I managed to get a lot of changes in. This fit is very different from what I used to run, and I would say it handles stuff much better. Like these things have a bit of hit points, which will take a while. So the Mamba might also work in electrical. I have not tested the Mamba for electricals at all. Firestorm I would avoid. Dark, well, I used to have a tier 2 fit for Dark Abyss with the Mamba, but I deleted it after the changes. The extra drone speed makes it so that the drones hardly hit anything anymore. They're already super fast with low optimals and fall off in Dark Abyssal weather. Now they're super fast. They overshoot all the time, they hardly hit anything. So I scrapped the fit. Do not enter Dark with a Mamba. Avoid. So exotic, awesome. Yamas with this passive fit, the best. Firestorm, avoid. Electrical, as of now, undetermined, but it's not optimal because of, well, the damage type, and you don't really get much advantage here other than your capacitor. Maybe an active tank fit. I could try an active tank fit in electricals, but that's something for later. $1.6 million. You see the tank? I can jump straight into the next room, room to room, with okay, this was an easy room, fair enough, but with extenders my recharge would be much longer. Hey, oh wow. I'm happy I am passive. Wow. This is a rare occurrence. This entire room neutralizes. So I'm already gonna stop my afterburner. They will just turn it off soon anyway. The good thing is here that I am a passive tank with purgers. I don't rely on my resist for everything. It helps a lot, but I can survive without it. In this room, an active tank fit would have a bigger problem. So here I take out the drifter one first because it already comes with damage on it. And there we go, 0 capacitor, but my drones do not use capacitor, my missiles do not use capacitor, and my tank is recharge buffer base. So it doesn't really matter here. Who needs capacitor anyway? $1.1 million. Ooh. So that brings a total for this run at 5 million. Which is the same as a tier 1 frigate run, it's a little worse even. So yeah, the loot was bad here, below average. Loot can vary wildly in the Abyss. If you have a bad run, don't worry, probably means you've got a good one coming afterwards. Okay. I do not tend to take my loot into the next room or the next abyssal, so now I'm gonna go for an exotic. Gamma gives you 50% extra shield HP, you and the enemy, anything in there, but it decreases your explosive resistance. Usually by tier 1 or 2 it will be 30% on the room. It is possible to get a 50% room, but it's not as rare. The higher tier you go, the bigger the debuffs will be. So for exotic, you will have a scan bonus, like a targeting scan resolution bonus. So you target faster and you get a exotic resistance debuff. So minus 30% resistances for most rooms, minus 50% if you get unlucky, or lucky, depending how you look at it. Since you do a lot of kinetic damage, it might turn out to be a blessing in disguise. The next one, I'm gonna take much more damage, but I'm also gonna do much more damage. And the enemy will also have a lot lower hit points, as will I. So here you'll see the difference. We'll clear it faster, but we'll, well, take more. Gonna go for the Hornets, gonna lean into the kinetic damage aspect. And of course, we take out the Webifier. It's all spark needles, so they're all priority, which means that they are not priority, they're all the same now. Gonna head straight for loot. will kill everything else on the way. Look at that, one-shotting them. Amazing. You see the damage come in? A lot higher than in the Gamma one, right? I believe I had a similar room there. But the Mamba is a fantastic ship. It is really good. 1.1 million, yep. I do tend to reload between the rooms. And you don't have to wait for your reload to be done. While you're reloading, you can already jump into the next room. Once the timer starts going, once it starts reloading, it will continue. And that means when you arrive in the next room, you'll have a full clip of missiles. So this is a villa room. Here, Damavix first, Fedmax afterwards, if there are any, of course. So I'm still gonna go with the Hornet. I'm gonna lean into the damage type. Ignore the drones. Swarmer drones are irrelevant. When you kill the ship that launches them, they go passive, they go dormant. And if you are with a drone ship, pay attention to your drones, because they like to go for the other drones while it's useless to do so. Also, the enemy swarmer drones sometimes also focus on your drones, so you may want to look out for their hit points and recall them in time. Here they are going for other drones, so I'm gonna manually put them on a trig, on a Damavik. Yeah, it's getting low on shields for one. 3.6 million, that's more like it. As you can see, all these drones have gone passive. And these ones, the yellow boxing means they're hitting another target, so those are the ones that are doing the damage to my my drone there. But since they are super drones, they are beefed up. It is holding, it is tanking, because as I kill more Damaviks, more of these drones go passive and it lowers the DPS. So it's clawing back a bit of shield now. Also, because the swarmers went for my drones, my shield HP has completely recharged. Well, at tier 2 with the destroyer, I only tend to go for the main loot cache. I don't tend to bother with these things. If you really want, you could fly around and go catch all of them, but you're gonna be so slow, it's not gonna be worth it. Guess you can just do another filament at the same time. Okay, let's pull drones, let's reload. And jump into the last room already. With exotics, it's much faster to clear. Double Starving and Damavik. Okay, so let's go for Hornets again, and let's take out the Starving Damavik. Easiest target to take down. Here I have a bit of a dilemma. I mean, since I'm in a passive fit and I don't really need cap anyway, I'm gonna go for the Striking Damavik. At least Damaviks have a lot more remote repair than Vedmax do. So I'm hoping that this way, when I hit the Vedmax, this thing is not gonna do a lot of remote repairs on it. Even though the Vedmax is a starving one. If I was in an active fit, my priority would be the other way around. I would try to take out the Vedmax over anything else. You can see the shield. The recharge is amazing, but so is the Vedmax DPS. And there we go, it's missing, resetting the spool. No longer capacitor, so my resist will stop soon. But the Vedmax is half armor already. So with exotics, you want to have really good shield skills. If your shield skills are not maxed out or not really good, you may experiment a little, but the best option would be to stick to gammas for this thing. Another note is there is a skill that all those compensation skills for shield. Don't bother with them for this fit. I don't use any of that because the only resist I use is the multi-spectrum, and that's an active armor. It does not use compensation skills. And I mean like explosive shield compensation. I don't mean the general shield compensation skill, because those are not the same. Now with this one there is not a need to overheat. You could overheat, of course, your resist or your afterburner, but most of the times if I'm in any trouble it is when those things are off because of neutralizing stuff, so I wouldn't be able to overheat anyway. But I've done a lot of tier 2s with this fit in both exotic and gammas, and I've not gone into armor yet. So it does work for both. It's just a little bit better in gammas, even though they take a bit longer to complete. Exotics, if your skills are good, I would go exotics. If your skills are not as good, I would go gammas. If you want to be casual, comfortable and relaxed, I would go gammas. But it all depends on what you want to do. Exotic and gamma both work. So that is the Mamba for me. So if you want to see more, I do stream on Twitch as well. I stream on Twitch and YouTube at the same time, so you can watch me on either one of them. Usually in the weekends. Fridays Will of Warships, Saturday, Sunday EVE Online. So please like, subscribe and comment down below, and I will see you next time.